First of all, I would like to thank the mayor, those who invited us, and of course, I would like to thank the Elephants Eco Initiative. Let's hope that Enrico will feel better soon and return to his beloved Elephants sooner. Now, it's only a few months ago that I came to find out about this initiative, and this is why we wanted to make a contribution, hoping that our collaboration will continue. And it's so good that we have so many mayors here, because they're passionate about sustainability and the future of the generations to come. We know that this is very important. I would like to our organization to you, because we are the competent organization for the protection of the natural environment and protected areas. We talk about a surface account of 30% of the land and 20% of the marine environment. 446 Natura areas are the ones listed in Greece. So you'd realize that this is a very important part that shouldn't be excluded from discussions concerning sustainable growth. Those are the areas, those are the examples that can lead the way for the generations to come. Those are examples of sustainability. Can I please have my PowerPoint on? Okay, let's move forward. Our organization was established back in 2020. It is the culmination of the concentration of the various natural environment management bodies all around the country. We haven't lost our former role. It's just now that the system is more flexible. So we have a central structure of the Natural Environment and Climate Change Agency in Athens. It's OFIPECA. Our agency was established by virtue of Law 4586 of 2020. It is a modern system for governance of protected areas. This means that we adopted a system asking for economies of scale. All mayors know what I'm talking about. We try to collect everything that had to do with standalone units and bring them under a unified umbrella, ensuring that 350 executives we have all around Greece focusing on what they should actually do, preserve those areas rather than focusing on draft and technical bulletins and sheets and all that. And this is very important. We know that those are necessary in order to obtain financing and funding for those areas, but this is extremely time-consuming. Now, let's move forward. Those are our areas. We have 24 decentralized units. Elephonsus is part of those units. At Parnanas unit, it's the light green areas at the bottom of the map. What we try to do is to ensure that various actions are being undertaken. The microphone of the speaker goes on and off. It was just 1 year ago that we managed to be fully operational. We have an action plan with 59 actions scheduled for the years 2022-2024, focusing on nature protection, citizen mobilization, activation, climate change, infrastructure works, as well as our governance system. We focus more on that, then we focus on biodiversity and, of course, citizen engagement and activation. We were lucky enough because as soon as the organization was established, we also submitted a proposal to the Recovery Fund, and the Commissioner himself came to the Parliament saying that this is one of the most interesting proposals. 100 million euro would be given for biodiversity. It's the first time that such a budget is given for the biodiversity. And of course, this has to do with a well-known 30 million initiative regarding the pathways for biodiversity. We have already submitted the various calls to the mayors, and we're looking forward to submitting the relevant proposals. This is addressed to local administration, the first and second degree, and we're looking forward to receiving the proposals of those entities as well as of Mount Athos. You know what happens there and how relevant those areas are. Hopefully, this happened in collaboration with Mr. Papadopoulou from the Central Union of Municipalities of Greece, KEDE, and we're in direct communication with numerous executives from KEDE. This is something that was immediately embraced by all heads of regions and mayors. 30 million out of the 100 million budget will focus on restoring the various paths. Labeling, planning, constructions are on the agenda, and we will be more than happy to finance those projects. We have the deadline, and the deadline is June 30th. Let's hope that we will collect a valuable set of proposals, and then we will have a committee that will be announced by the Prime Minister, and let's hope that we have a relevant minister to appoint this evaluation committee so that we can move forward. The second critical part with the Recovery Fund is the system for permanent monitoring and preservation. We will give 15 million to ensure that all those areas are being monitored. We will change the vehicles and boats fleet. We also have drones. We obtain satellite images, monitoring protocols, so that those protected areas can have the necessary infrastructure that is necessary for the country and the environment.
And right now, dear Mayor, I would like to say that when it comes to the carrying capacity, as the Mayor said before, we have to understand which is the carrying capacity of this area. We want people to come and visit, but on our own terms, since those places should be preserved based on our own rules, and then we will be able to enjoy those places. Something else which is very important is the standardization nature of Greece, a certification rather, which will allow us to promote Greek products in the protected areas. 1 million will be spent on businesses, municipalities. Anyone who would like to get that certification, ensuring that they follow environmental friendly practices, and that branding will give them an added value. Now, this is the Recovery Fund, and of course, you see the islands. We also have another project which also receives funding for the special way that the islands and the lands on the islands are built. Here, very shortly, I would like to discuss two iconic projects: the Red List of the Endangered Species, in collaboration with IUCN. We have listened that yesterday that the press showed interest, since we registered 14,000 species, in a lot of them endemic, and we are one of the few countries that will have a full list of endangered species, both flora and fauna. In a few months, all those data will be available. We have 65 scientists who work on those very special species, fungi, flora and fauna, various issues. 1.5 million will be spent on that project, will be given for parks, for geoparks. We have 7 UNESCO geoparks and 120,000 euros to each geopark to organize actions. UNESCO wants to preserve biodiversity and at the same time asks for sustainable development and collaboration with the local communities. Recently, there was a conference on geoparks on Cythia, Crete, which was very successful. Lesbos is also a great example. NECA, our organization, has not only the Kefalonia Geopark, but also the Voraikos. We have 7 special units that try to detect the poisoned food which is given to the animal, poisoned baits. And there is a study of the Hellenic Ornithological Society that says that unfortunately the poisoned baits which are placed by people in various places are the ones that endangered our fauna and not windmills. And sometimes it is good to debunk some myths and to leave them aside. There are some studies for endemic endangered species. There is a project with funding of 330,000 euros with field studies, and we will give more funds to also to other field studies with and we will also grant money to 5 PhDs. We will spend 1 million euros for research in biodiversity, and they will be given to Greek universities. Antikythera do not have only the National Observatory, but also the station that we have been setting up, the station of the Ornithological Society, with a budget of 300,000 in order to keep up the operation of this of those species. And last but not least, a very important project on the biodiversity within the archaeological sites. We will give 320,000 euros to study biodiversity in the archaeological sites. We will start from Olympia, Delphi, Acropolis, and 20 archaeological sites in Greece. Because due to the specificities and due to the fact that they are guarded, we can help endangered species live there. So in collaboration with the National Competition University of Athens, with the Ministry of Culture and with stakeholders all around Greece, scientists that work on National Competition University will help us conduct this research. We participate in various programs, and of course we organize a lot of actions. I don't know if we can show the video that I have brought. 5th of June, it is the Day of Environment, and we have prepared 40 actions around Greece for the World Environmental Day. I don't know if we can see, if we can watch the video.
Περιβάλλοντος.
Γιορτάστε τη φύση μαζί μας με 40 εκδηλώσεις σε όλη την Ελλάδα.
Γνωριμία με το περιβάλλον και τη βιοποικιλότητα.
Ξεναγήσεις.
Πεζοπορίες.
Περιβαλλοντικά παιχνίδια.
Εργαστήρια.
Συμμετέχουμε, ενημερωνόμαστε, ορίζουμε τις προτεραιότητες για ό,τι αγαπάμε να φροντίσουμε.
Οργανισμός Φυσικού Περιβάλλοντος και Κλιματικής Αλλαγής.
Σύντομο, αλλά νομίζω είναι αυτό. αυτό που δείχνει ότι πραγματικά το περιβάλλον μπορεί να αποτελέσει έτσι μια πολύ δυναμική
I'm sure that we will, both as a society and local administration should work harder in order to do more and to be prepared for an even better future. And thank you very much for your attention.
Ευχαριστούμε.
Thank you very much, Maria Papadopoulou. So you are doing a lot of things. I congratulate you on your activities and the good work that you have been doing with local administration, a lot of good funding opportunities. Mrs. Laro, in my opinion, maybe for the next Eco Week we should try and strengthen the collaboration with NECA, since the municipality is rather small, and maybe NECA can help us with technical support and assistance. So I think that it would be a good idea for you to collaborate with NECA. The mayor's comments are off the mic. So I would like to thank a lot Mrs. Papadopoulou for the collaboration that we have in our supervisory authority, and we all try to do our best. Either we're working in the public sector, in the private sector, but when it comes to local administration, it is even more important to do that extra mile, because it is not a given. Last year there was a program and we have implemented part of that action here in Elafonisos, and we have put up signages, because synergies are information, because visitors, of course, are not aware that this is a protected area and they might destroy it, but if they know, there are no excuses. And we have also set up wooden bins with eco-friendly materials, as well as corridors with the characteristics prescribed by NECA in order to try and avoid the problems with the beaches. As I have said before, we will be able to listen to understand the importance of those programs with the deliverables, when the deliverables will be understood and experienced by the citizens and the visitors. On my behalf, I would like to say that we visit all our areas. Me and the managing director, in order to understand local issues. Carrying capacity is very important, and various rules. So what do you believe that you should do? We are here to help you implement it, not only on an institutional level, but also on a financial level when it comes to resources. But you should decide on the rules, because you will be the guards of those rules and you will be able to monitor their implementation. Of course, we can give you know-how, we can give you assistance. However, the gatekeepers, you are the gatekeepers, so you will have to come to us with specific proposals on an institutional and on a financial level, and then we will be able to discuss with the ministry various proposals, and we believe that it is always good to have proposals by the mayors. So we are looking forward to having you over in Athens, in our offices, to discuss the issues more specifically. I apologize because I have to leave now. Now, I would like to ask something when it comes to the program on the ridges. You have said that the 50% is subsidized. However, the problem with the invitation, with the tenders, is that there is no plan for these specificities. In Andros, there is a network of paths more than 300 kilometers and more than 150 are certified. My question is, if I install a bench with eco-friendly materials and then it will be destroyed given the time, who is going to give me the money for the conservation of that bench? Own resources, that is very difficult to find own resources for the ridges. Own resources can we find, for example, resources from a donor, private donor. So Andros, our island, has a very specific geography because we have a lot of ridges and we have a lot of stone paths. However, we should be realistic. When I discussed with Effie, we have been said that it's good to have a small municipality because it is easy to implement various things. The problem with financing is that there is no plan for the maturity of the project. I have tried to improve things in my municipality, and I always face the issue of money. How will be able to conserve and preserve those projects? Municipalities do not have income and they cannot undertake the conservation of all those projects. It is very different to set up a path in central Greece, and it is very different to have this stone path and to not be able to preserve those paths. We don't have people, human resources or financial resources. The structuring fund for the conservation, the structuring fund has got a program for the conservation of those stone paths. However, when it comes to the ridges, it is, I understand your issue, but we have to start from someone. When I take up the management of NECA, you understand that the resources were less. This is not only your problem, we share this problem. This is a common, a shared issue. However, we should start and prioritize issues and to have a plan because we should start from somewhere. I understand your point on the conservation, but maybe you should send us institutional proposals regarding conservations. Maybe we would be able to adopt them and the ministry may adopt them as well. This is food for thought. We go abroad and imagine what I want to say. I don't want to express it right now. So we should try and propose things, and we should not be afraid to start a discussion and to propose various proposals. I haven't said anything bad. No, Elafonisos enjoys a very good collaboration between the municipality and NECA, and I'm sure that with the help of Elafonisos II and Enrico, we will be able to take up more actions. Thank you very much. Enrico initiated this meeting, and his goal and his visions is for us to adopt this mission and this vision and go forward and take up action. Thank you very much.